What's going on, guys? We are back with another Rust solo base design. This is definitely my favorite base yet, so let's get right into the tour. We've got a couple 8-rocket external TC pods. Here's the upkeep. And in here we've got some useful items. Bed, locker, vending. We're using Satori disconnectables because why would you use anything else? The easiest and best way to reconnect them is with a roof and a wall. I'm just kidding. For my noobs out there, just use a floor frame like that. Moving on to the gatehouse, we got a nice little 2-triangle gatehouse. You can see in, you can see out, and it's also an airlock. Solar players need stuff like this. Moving on to the compound, you've got plenty of room for activity in here. You've got the the mixing tables here so you can make teas. Got the oil refinery, more furnaces, identical gatehouse. I would recommend placing a pool in here as well. And over here in this corner, we've got the entrance. You can do 2 if you want, but I like 1 so it's more secure. Going through 2 armored doors, we get into the shell, which is just spammed with drop boxes and barbecues and bear rugs and stuff. Going through a few garage doors, we've got these breach peaks that are great for before you get your compound set up. The shell just wraps around the 2x1, and we just have more drop boxes in here, and then we get another set of the breach peaks, which again are sick for before you get your compound. The starter unit is here behind some armored doors. It's just a simple 2x1 that we expand upward. Super simple. There's the main upkeep. Moving on, going up to the core, we've got a jump up with furnaces here, and then we've got a battery, research table, a little more storage, and then more storage up here as well. Going up the ladder hatch takes us to the main loot. We got a nice little open main area here with some turrets, workbench, bed, everything you need. And you've got these vending machine bunkers inside. These are great because all you need to close them is the ability to break twigs, so you're not spending HQM every time you log off with these. We've also got some peek downs to cover the front door and the shell. These will help you defend if you're getting pummeled. Next, we'll go head out to the shooting floor. The shooting floor has a mix of wide gap and freehand peaks. They cover the entire compound, and there's not a single blind spot, even on the side walls of your base. Got some normal roof peek ups here to see what's going on in your roof. Your roof can be accessed through a ladder hatch right here. You can see if there's danger on the roof before you go outside. Once you make it onto the roof, there's a bunch of angles to guard the surrounding areas of our base, most notably our external TCs and gatehouse. They also cover all the furnaces. There's a bunch of little roof slants that give you great angles for for defending your territory. As usual, never roof camp. Yeah, I love this roof. It's probably one of my favorite things about this Rust solo base design. Back onto the shooting floor. You can open this garage door, and there's a chute that leads down to the breach peaks, but you also get a little bit of a peek down into the shell as well, so it's a very useful piece of the base if you ask me. But that's about it for the tour. Now that you've seen the base, let's learn how to build it. You can start with a little 2x1 starter, make it how you normally would, and upgrade everything to stone except the roof above the front doorway. Upgrade the square above TC to stone, and the square above the front door to wood. Add a wall frame in the middle and put a double door swinging outward to make an airlock. Place down the front door, and then your TC goes in the back left corner. Now at this point, you just gotta get out of the base and go play the game, man. Go farm, PvP, and get some scrap, and slowly build up your starter unit as you see fit. You can use the space however you want, but this is how I do it. Once you've got some extra materials, go up to the top of your base and build on a little expansion like I do here. Upgrade everything to stone, but leave a little opening on the jump up and place either a double door or seal it off with a wooden roof. After this, go back down to your furnace room and get rid of the wood floor. Place a wall frame here for stability purposes, and now you'll have access to your second floor. Use the space however you'd like. If you want to be extra safe, you can seal off this roof access with wood and then just beat it out later. Now for the fun part, the externals, baby. From your front door, build out 2 triangles and 1 square. Get rid of the first triangle, and then build out on both sides just like I do. Remove everything except the triangles that start to form the shell. Then add 1 more triangle right here. You will notice that 2 squares will fit here. Do not place both of them. Place 1 square here and build out like I do. Remove everything but the triangle, and then build back with just triangles. And make a little triangle like that, a big triangle. Walk towards your big triangle and place a square here, triangle, triangle. Then another square, a triangle, and 2 more squares. Cap these 2 squares off with 3 triangles. Not there. There. Upgrade the triangles, and then place 2 half walls on the triangle that's touching the square. It has to be this triangle, otherwise you won't be able to make your TC properly, and then wall everything off. Place your TC as far back and the furthest triangle from the front door, and that's your first external TC pod. If you didn't quite get it this time, watch the next side and we're going to be doing the exact same thing. These two triangles here, you can upgrade them because they're going to be your gatehouse. Look back towards the TC pod and put the door on the right and then on the left. Then put the windows like this. If you don't put the doorways like this, they're not going to form an airlock when the single door is open. Now all we have to do is connect this to the TC pod so it doesn't decay. To do that, just add floor frames like I do here. After this, upgrade your connections to metal as soon as possible. You can get rid of these twigs for now, as we'll be able to build off the gatehouse when we put our wide gaps up. We've only got half the shell done, so let's complete it. Place triangles like this, then go square, triangle, all the way around until you meet the other side. You can demolish all the squares, but make sure you leave the triangles, except these ones. These are garbage. You don't have to do this now, but you can place another triangle right there to connect it back to the main 2x1. We'll be placing floor frames on it later. Now you'll come back over here and we're going to do the same build out we did on the other side. This build out here is how we'll get our wide gaps. Just like before, we'll demolish everything except that last triangle, and then we'll build back with triangles to create a large triangle. Now from the top of the triangle, we build out just like this. Here we go, square, triangle, square, square. And then we cap it off with some triangles. Make sure that this wall here is 2 half walls, otherwise it won't disconnect when you try to disconnect it. If you want to place a vending machine shop down like we did in the tour, then you can just place a door frame here and just throw your vending machine in there, man. Other than that, place your TC down in the corner and spam garage doors, dude. Now again, just like before, to make your gatehouse, look towards your TC pod and place your 2 doors like this, and then place your windows like this. Upgrade them all to stone. You can put your doors and windows in now if you want, but since we have no compound, I usually wait till later. Don't forget to connect this back to the TC pod, otherwise it's gonna decay. Just place floor frames that match the foundations underneath you and upgrade them to metal as soon as you can. If you can, I would recommend putting turrets up to protect you while you set up your compound. You can place them right here on this foundation. If you followed the video, this is what you'll have right now. Once you get to this point, I would recommend farming about half the metal and stone in the build cost. Next, we're going to lay down the foundations for our freehand peaks. Upgrade both sets of triangles that I did to metal. Then lay down some twig framework like I do here. We're going to use this to make sure that our freehand peaks are aligned properly with the rest of the base. Go to the front side of the wall and place down a twig triangle, then a half wall, and a low wall. The low wall will be what connects the freehand peaks to the rest of the footprint. Like a lot of things in this video, go to the other side and do the exact same thing. After you've done this, you'll be left with something that looks like this. But once you're ready to start your build out, place 2 triangle twig foundations like this, then place another triangle off the right side and a square like that, and place low walls facing away from the base. Line up your crosshair in the very center like you're doing normal freehand peaks, but move it a little bit to the right. After you're all lined up, lift your mouse off your desk, and without moving your mouse at all, demolish those low walls and place a foundation after you step backwards slightly. Demolish the build out you have so far, and then build out 3 triangles to the right, 1 square, demolish them, and then two triangles, 1 square. Get rid of the 2 original foundations, and then place 2 more triangles on each side of the square. To verify that you did this correctly, try to build up 3 high, and if it shows up blue, then you did it right, and you can upgrade those foundations to metal as soon as possible so no one destroys them. This can be really tedious, so definitely get them upgraded as soon as possible. I'm going to tell you right now, you need to practice this. This is not a base you can build without practicing this technique here. But yeah, we're going to go to the other side and do the exact same thing. 2 triangles right there, then 1 triangle on the right side, square, low walls pointing away from the base. Line up your crosshair like you're doing normal freehands, and then move it to the right ever so slightly. But once again, whip out that hammer and demolish those 2 low walls without moving your mouse. Then place a square foundation after stepping backwards slightly. Demolish these 2. Then build out 3 triangles to the right. Cap it off with a square. Get rid of the triangles in that square. 2 triangles, 1 square. Demolish those 2 triangles so you can place 2 on either side of the square. And then test that we can build 3 high. We got blue wall frames, which means that we can. So after that, demolish all the garbage and upgrade these to metal ASAP, and you've done it. Sometimes it'll show up red up top, that means you have to redo the whole process. So definitely practice this. You don't want to be redoing it in the middle of a wipe. Just a warning, do not upgrade those wall frames off the freehand foundations before you upgrade the wall and the low wall coming off the main foundations. You can place the frames after you place the low wall, but you can't place the low wall after you place the frames. Anyways, it's time to bang out this base because all the tedious stuff is done. Upgrade the foundations of the shell to sheet metal. If you don't have it, stone's fine, but you don't want to waste stone because we're going to need it for the shooting floor. So upgrade them to metal. When you're making the shell, go outside, walk to the right, and make sure this triangle is in between your shell entrance and your core entrance. The garage doors that we put there will make it a more expensive door raid. Now walk over to this corner, and this will be where your front door is. Put a window here, get rid of that, and put a doorway there. Add another doorway for the airlock, then add another wall on top. Now you can put walls too high everywhere that I do, except right there. We're going to have breach peaks there. Upgrade the inner wall of the shell to metal. Hopefully you have it, that's why I told you to go farm. Now we'll go over to where our breach peaks are and we'll create them like this. Just do 2 half walls, 2 windows, then 2 half walls on top. Go to the other side and do the exact same thing. Nice and simple, and make sure you upgrade them to metal, baby. Now we're going to connect the shell to the rest of the 2x1. Place 2 metal wall frames there, and then put a floor down above it. This will be a jump up to the shooting floor. If you don't have ladders, place twig floor here. Demolish and jump up. Then place a triangle floor frame to stand on, and switch to the triangle roof, and you should be able to place one down there as the breach peak. You can upgrade that to metal, stone, I don't really care. Upgrade that frame to metal if you don't have embrasures yet. That'll keep people out, and you get some nice little peaks to shoot at people. And if you die, your gun slides down the roof. It's pretty nice. No one can loot it unless they come all the way into your shell. But we could finish the jump up like this. Upgrade that to stone. Don't put any roofs on yet, as we gotta do some weird shit up here too. So now to finish our jump up, we just hop down here, place a half wall, and then a low wall on top of both the half walls. Demolish the half walls and put low walls. We do the top ones as low walls so we can fit a square up here. If you did half walls, it would not fit a square. Anyways, now we do the exact same thing on the other side, which I'm going to speed past, but if you need to, slow the video down. While I'm building, if you're still watching the video, make sure you hit that like button. It helps me out quite a bit, so make sure you don't forget. Now we'll get ready to build our compound. Go to the freehand foundations and put down a square and 2 triangles off of them. Make sure you do this on both sides. This will just help us align our compound walls a little bit better. Now go to your gatehouses and place 2 twig triangles coming off of them. This will allow you to fit a metal barricade up there, which you can place it as centered as possible. After that, go do the same thing on the other gatehouse. Nice and simple. Now place the walls coming off your gatehouse. You want them to be as far inside as possible, so that way it'll stop grubs from squeezing through the barricade and the wall on top. You also need to make sure that it's not blocking the single doors, because I've had it happen and it's pretty annoying. On the left side, do the same thing with the wall, but place it as far outward as it'll go so it doesn't block you from placing a square off of your gatehouse when you're doing your wide gaps. Do the same thing on the other gatehouse, and then go to your twig build out by the freehands. Make sure you alt look while you place these so you know how much space is in between each wall. Now go ahead and connect it on the other side as well. Just make sure you're alt looking while you do it. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Once you get these walls placed down, delete the twig. Then you can place a wall there instead. Do it on both sides and then the compound is complete. At this point you can go ahead and get all the parts of the freehand peaks upgraded. You can do it on both sides, of course. You can also cover up the soft sides if you'd like. Before we put our furnaces down, we got to put down our wide gap foundations. Just build out like I did right there. And then go triangle, square. Upgrade the end and middle triangles. But make sure you don't upgrade those middle triangles. Otherwise we won't build a honeycomb part of the base later. Anyways, you can get rid of the garbage foundations. And you can throw some large furnaces in those spots. That way you can get more metal going. Do this again on the other side. Build out 2 squares, 3 triangles. Demolish the squares and then go square, triangle. Upgrade the end triangles and the middle triangles, but do not upgrade the triangles in between. After that, you can get rid of the garbage and place down your large furnaces. Now we're going to start on the wide gaps. Place down wall frames 2 high on each of these foundations. And then upgrade the ones on metal foundations to metal, and leave the ones on twig foundations, twig. Head around to the opposite side of the base, and then do the exact same thing. Wall frames 2 high. Wall frames on metal foundations, made out of metal. Wall frames on twig, stay twig. After this, get rid of the wood ceiling on your roof and add a wall frame instead, in case you want to put your ladder hatch in later. Go behind the wall frame and add 2 triangles like this and make sure they're armored. Then you can place a wall here, also armored. Place twig triangles on each side of the armored wall, and then you can place a roof triangle here. Go to the other side and place a roof. Doing it like this will allow us to place 2 vending machines here. It'll remove the roof, so that way we have more room for the vending machine to be flat up against the wall. Place the vending machine as flat against the wall as it can go, and then pull it back just a little bit. Now open the other side of the wall and do the exact same thing to place another vending machine. Move it around until you get it as close to the wall as possible. Break all the twig and then go do the same exact thing on the other side. Armored triangles, armored wall, then place the vending machines. Place some walls behind the vending machines, and then you can fill in the peak downs like so. Upgrade all the peak downs to metal. Make sure the walls behind your vending machine bunker are metal. Then put down a wall frame to the left of those walls. Do it on both sides. Then put down a half wall and a window. These will be your roof peak ups. You can upgrade these to metal as well. Do the same thing on the other side. Then after that, you can fill in the remaining space with a full wall and upgrade that to metal as well. Add a wall frame here for stability purposes, and then if you want, you can slap a ladder hatch down. Some people like it open. To seal in the roof, put 2 triangles off of that wall frame in the middle, then put squares on each side, and fill in the remaining space with triangles. I'd recommend upgrading this straight to armored. After this, you can seal it off with garage doors and you can start sealing your good loot up here in the bunkers. Next, we'll work on the wide gaps. Go outside and put down triangles on all of the metal frames. After that, place squares coming off the main footprint. After that, you can upgrade all the floors that you just placed to metal. Place half walls on the freehand section, and then also place half walls off the twig on the main wide gap section, and then place windows everywhere else. Go around and place some windows on top of all the half walls you just placed. That'll give us some angles from the roof. After you have all your twig placed, you can just upgrade it to stone. Go right here and make the roof peaks. Place 2 wall frames and then 2 half walls on top of them and seal it off on top with a floor triangle. Go to the other side and do it again. Now we'll run over here and add more wall frames. These will give stability to some pieces of the roof. Run on over and do the same thing on the other side. Now we'll go directly above our freehand peaks to build our roof access. Look towards the main footprint and put down a floor frame and a floor. Fill in the 2 areas behind roof access with floor triangles as well. Then you can slap a ladder hatch down. After that, you can go onto your roof and fill it in like I do here. If you have metal, just upgrade it all to metal right away. After that, you can place windows in any unoccupied roof slot. Then you can upgrade all these suckers to stone. To make your roof access, place a doorway on the spot without the ladder hatch and a window on the place with the ladder hatch. Then seal the top with 2 triangles and place 2 half walls behind it. After that, you can place 2 triangle roofs on top of the inner triangles there. That'll make your turret pod later on. Now go ahead and do the exact same thing on the other side of the roof. Next, add ramps on each of these squares. I like to make these ramps out of metal so they're easier to see through when you're shooting. Put horizontal embrasures in all the windows, and put an industrial door on your roof access point, and then put a vertical metal embrasure on the window. Don't forget to put embrasures on this so it's harder for people to shoot you as you're going outside. Go down to the shooting floor, and each square on your shooting floor place a roof triangle like I do here. This will give you crouchable angles through the embrasures on your roof. Go back up to the roof and upgrade them to wood. If you want to, you can upgrade it to something stronger if wood's not really your style, but it'll do for me, so. Last but not least, add some triangle roofs facing inwards off these windows. These will give you more cover if you have to build next to a cliffside or something. After this, your roof is basically complete. You just have to put down your windmill. Place a siren light here to avoid dropping down a little bit every time you run over your freehand peaks. Place some siren lights there as well so you can jump up to see what's happening on your roof. Put vertical embrasures on the entire shooting floor as well. I like to put garage doors here as well next to the peak ups just to keep our shooting floor a little more sectioned off. Go into the shell and upgrade the area around the TC to high qual. Upgrade the second floor of your 2x1 to sheet metal, but try to do HQM if you can because your batteries will be in there. If you want to protect your main TC even more, you can put a vending machine where the single door was, but I like the mobility, so I'll just put armored doors there or something. Try to get armored single doors as soon as possible to beef up the door raid cost. As soon as you finish your wide gaps and your shooting floor, you can get rid of this twig. Any means necessary, right? And if you followed the tutorial this far, there should be one area of the shell that's not honeycombed. Make sure you do. That way people can't soft side out those foundations that hold up the base. Honeycomb it with one full wall and then do a half wall and a low wall to honeycomb the rest of it. It's not true, but it makes it look beefier. Once you do that, this bad boy is essentially complete. If you have any questions about the base, feel free to comment down below about it or come into my Discord and someone will help you. But yeah, boys, if you're still here, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Also, let me know in the comments if you want to see me stress test this bad boy. Anyways, thanks for watching, and peace out.